it's now the time where we get to introduce our guest speaker who's been patiently waiting in the wings there. Well, not quite in the wings because you've been able to see her sort of up front center stage. So I'd like to introduce you to Paula Brand. So Paula and I have known each other for a wee while now. She is the CEO of the Small Business Expos here in Southeast Queensland. And she's been running that, would you believe, for 7 years. So when she started, it probably sounded like a great idea at the time. Then COVID hit. She's probably thinking, what the heck am I doing in this business when we can't have face-to-face meetings with all these lockdowns? But one thing I would say about Paula is she is a determined and persistent person, and she has really created an organization and an expo platform that so many small businesses have used and used successfully to grow and market their businesses. So I've been along to expos. I love expos. She's run 26 of them. She's connected 24,000 businesses, generated $24 million in sales and leads for the exhibitors. So no mean feat at all. 300 speakers have been on the platform. So she does have speakers that speak there as well. So 300 speakers, 4,000 businesses have exhibited, and 3,000. And she's been trained 3,500 exhibitors and staff in the pre-expo training workshop. So a lot of expos and trade shows that I've been to have not offered any training at all. You just turn up and they sell you a stand, you set it up, you bring your glossy brochures and your pull-up banners and whatever, and hope for the best. One thing that really sets Paula apart is she offers training both in sales and exhibiting to help you get the maximum out of these exhibitions. So that's really what she's going to be talking with us about tonight, is a lot of that sort of aspect as well too. So whether you exhibit or think about going to an expo, or you're running your business and looking for other ideas to market it, tonight is definitely the night for you. And again, I'd highly recommend trying out these expos, because I found them to be sensational. And I think one of the expos, well, we used to do them regularly back in New Zealand, and we would get on average 2,500 or 3,000 to 5,000 leads every time we went to an expo, which was more than anybody else at the expo. So it just shows if you do it right, it really works well for you. And I know that the expos that I've attended at Paula's expos, we've just had a phenomenal response there. And I'm pretty confident that we probably got the most leads out of anyone at those expos as well, because of just understanding how this process works. So tonight, Paula's going to be talking about how using business expos as sales funnels, with a brackets, despite COVID. And she's got some tips there on how to really get in and maximize and use it. So let's give a big warm welcome to Paula Brand.
Yay. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me, and can everyone see the screen?
Yes,
Yep,
loud
fantastic.
and clear and visible.
Okay, so expos as sales funnels. So we continue to run our expos in Southeast Queensland despite COVID, and we've delivered 7 COVID events now. So we were absolute guns in it. And our view is, if Coles stays open, then our small business expos stay open, because we're literally a small business supermarket. So that's how we set up our stand. So it's very safe to come to one of the expos. They're very big. The Morton Expo coming up in North Brisbane next Wednesday has 220 stands. The Brisbane one on the 21st of October has 260 stands. And we finish off in Redlands with a small one, because there's no other venue big enough. So we use massive venues, and the whole day is sales focused. So gone are the days where you're just handing out flippy flyers, right? And looking sexy on your stand. So we have a saying at our expos: you can do whatever you want as long as you don't come naked or piss off anybody else. And that's been the rule for 7 years now. And so it's really about how to get to everyone in 6 hours. So if you can imagine 800 business owners in 6 hours, meeting and connecting them to see if and how you can do business, that's not an easy task to do, right? So There's actually a strategy behind it, and I'm going to give you some of those tips and tricks today. So, so that, you know, if you really think about it, networking events have reduced in size because of COVID, and a lot of chambers of commerce are not even running events at the moment. So to get in front of 800 business owners, that would take you about, at the moment, 20 events, 20 separate events to actually go to. So the return, you know, one of the cost savings of an expo is you go to one place, and then obviously you're meeting everyone there and they're coming to you. All right. And the other thing about it with an expo is, one of the things we know is that a lot of business owners don't follow up, right? And a lot of you are home-based as well. So it's really important to, you know, if you're not a regular follower or upper of your old customers, where there still is money, you know, you invite them to an expo, you get them in front of you, and you reconnect that way. So old businesses are just as important as new businesses, new leads at expos. And this is literally your pop-up shop for the day. So you've got to behave in a certain way in your shop, particularly if you're home-based business and you've been talking to the cat or the pot plant for the last 18 months or longer. So, you know, all of a sudden in one expo day, you've got to be a super salesperson, right? You've got to meet and connect with 800 people or more at some expos. And you've got to do it to generate sales leads. It is not about how many business cards you can stick in the competition barrel. So I'm telling you that now. So it is driven by sales scripts. All right. So and I'm sure you've been to some really bad expos. I have too, not my own, but other people's. And you know, really, it's what comes out of your mouth that makes a sale. It has got nothing to do with what your expo stand actually looks like. So let's just go through a few tips, and how to get results from an expo. We usually used to run these face-to-face, our workshops, our training, but now we do it all on Zoom, and I spend my life on Zoom getting everyone ready for a real expo to be humans. So our expo is a collaborative event. So we work together with about 50 sponsors, 15 chambers, BX, BNI, Key Business Network, councils to put them on. So, you know, it takes a lot of us. I'm just the person behind the scenes. So I'm just fast tracking a few things. So from that perspective, what we're talking about is real customers. And an expo, you know, you can spend $325 on an expo stand, and you know, you might get 10, 20, 30 sales leads from it. But you may be getting 1 or 2 or 3 sales leads from Facebook advertising. So you've really got to look at it as a solid investment that it's going to return sales, right? So it doesn't matter if you haven't done an expo before. You can become really super organized and awesome. And we call you extraordinary, be extraordinary on the day of an expo, even if you haven't done it before. So it's really about stepping up in front of your business. Everyone's passionate about their business, yes? Everyone believes that their business solves the problem and you want to share it. Yeah, and last time I looked, we're still human beings despite COVID, and we still need human contact. And until that stops, then that's when I'll stop expos. But we are humans, we do need human contact, and small business matters at the moment even more so. So it's really important to get out of the office and step up and front your business. And expos are really great opportunities to talk your head off, to talk yourself silly in a sales way, because a lot of networking is social networking. It isn't sales driven networking. And a lot of networking events also have agendas where sometimes there's only 15 minutes of networking in it. So you've got 6 hours at one of these expos to talk yourself absolutely stupid with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people to share your passion. Okay, so, and you've got to have fun too. Did I mention that? Because if you don't have fun in sales and at an expo, I can guarantee 100% you will fail, right? So having a great attitude is really, really important at an expo. It's all about being extraordinary on the day. So, you know, the why, making sure you're going to an expo and understanding why you're there. And a lot of people go to different expos for different reasons, depending on the type of business they are. Some are looking for sales leads. Some are looking at practice and sales skills in front of people. Some have got new products or new startups. Some have new products or services they need to research and make sure that they're testing the market. Some are just looking for new business, and some are looking for partnerships as well, synergistic partnerships. So there's many reasons why you would be going to an expo. And the more people you talk to, the more opportunities you have. So this thing smiles nonstop for 6 hours, and you talk yourself stupid for 6 entire hours. So if you haven't done that, it's a great challenge to do it. So getting your thinking right for an expo, it's 95% attitude. If you come to an expo with a shitty attitude, or that you've just fought with your partner in the morning or fought with the kids in the morning and you come stressed, I'm guaranteed that you're not going to do so well. So, you know, that's why we say you have to be extraordinary on the day and really step up for your business and shine your business, and have your conversation really clear and succinct. So there's no waffling on, people, at an expo. So one of the things you've also got to do is set your targets and goals for the expo. So Nick's goal may be 100 leads, right? Scylla's goal may be 10 meetings. Colin's goal may be he's going to get them into a free workshop, and then he's going to drive them through, and they're going to go through his email funnel, and he's going to get paid customers at the end. So you have to be really clear what you want to achieve at an expo as well. Because if you don't have a goal, what do you hit? Nothing. That's right. So it's just as important from a sales perspective to have a goal. And sometimes when we start the training, people have little goals. They go, I just like one customer. Mind you, one customer to a real estate company could be about a $30,000 sales commission. But, you know, at the end of the training, when people have more confidence, then they lift their game, because the game you play is set by you. And so you could go, I just want one customer, or you can go, you know what, I'm going to play full out and I'm going to get 100 leads, right? And 100 leads, and I'm going to convert 100 leads over. So it depends where you set your mindset as to how you're going to go at an expo. So you can play a boring, average, small game, or you can play full out at an expo. And what you do at an expo will decide on which one you're going to go to. Does that make sense? Also, if you're an introvert, which I actually am, that's why I don't go to a lot of networking events, so I don't have time either. But to meet and connect with confidence is super important, right? The number one people who are in charge of an expo, guess who they are? It's you guys, it's the exhibitors. They are in control of all of the conversations. So if you're not leading the conversations, then somebody else is leading you. So being an exhibitor is about being really strong and driving conversations and leading people through the sales process. They ain't gonna do it because they're all being human-y and weird. So you have to help people through that process. So we also look at how to make your stand deliver results without spending the farm on it. And it's sales documents, not marketing documents. So there's a big difference in what you need at an expo as to what we used to do in old-fashioned trade shows or expo days in the old days. And and how to follow up confidently. So, you know, you've done all this work. The name of the game at an expo is to try and sell on the day, to book and sell on the day, and to get people's money on the day. That shortens the sales cycle right down, right? So if you have to follow up, then, you've got to do that confidently. And, we include sales scripts as well to do that. So, the money is in the follow-up. If you fail to do the follow-up, and the follow-up has to be done for an expo the next day or the day after. If you leave it later than that, the lead starts to get really cold, right? So these are super large expos. And literally, it's like, for our expos, it's like walking into Westfield Shopping Centre and doing 2 rounds of Westfield and going to talk to every single shop person. That is a lot of conversations you've got to have. So you've got to be on your A game, all right? So, so it doesn't matter how shitty an expo is, or in that fact, how shitty a networking event is. You can still make sales, right? So, and I guess I have, every time I go to an expo myself or a networking event, I absolutely have a goal, an intention, a script, and I walk away with the business cards and I walk away with the money. So I'm going for a reason, and I always deliver because I'm very clear in what I'm doing at an event if I go. So really getting your thinking right. Like I said, if you go to an expo as an exhibitor, fantastic, or as an attendee, you're there to meet people. You're there to meet everyone. I don't care if you're meeting them in the food truck line, they're walking past your stand, or they're they're in the line for the toilet. I really don't care, as long as one of your objectives is to meet absolutely everyone, right? So you can't just talk to one person for an hour and let 50 people walk past. That's not what the day is about. You're literally stopping traffic at your stand for 5 minutes to meet and connect in a meaningful way, to see if and how you can do business. Because all of those people coming to the expos are actually coming to see the exhibitors, which in your case, if it was you guys, it would be you. So that's why people are there. They're not there because they've got nothing else to do and they've got a shitload of time on their hands. They're there to see how they can do business with you. So it's a warm audience, right? So, you've got to ask the right questions to find out how your product or service can help them. Obviously, the only way you can do that is if you ask questions. And all of you have got different products and services. So you can sell on the day with products, but also services. You've got to have offerings on the day that are really easy to learn about in a quick amount of time. So, the fact is you've got to really enjoy talking to people. You can't just sit there grumpy with your arms crossed, expecting people to come to you. You're actually out the front of your stand, stopping everyone, saying hello, and with a big smile on your face, and just talking to people, right? So it's actually, you've got to be extraordinary. You've got to come out of your shell a little bit for all those wonderful introverts there, and you've got to really showcase your business. So there are very few of these sales opportunities in Southeast Queensland. So, have a look at this to see if it's a fit for your business. So remember the goal. What result do you want? How many prospects do you need? How much total sales? So if you've had an investment of $325 for an expo stand, and you're looking at total sales that might be $10,000, then that's a bloody good day, right? So, it's a really good return on investment. All of your goals will be different because you've got different products or services. So you need to qualify and get in your own right. How many customers? What are you going to sell? What's the value of that? And what's the total sales that you're looking for in the day? So you really have to do that math. And you have to tell all the people who are supporting you on the stand, so you both have the same goal. So it might be just informing the community, testing a concept, or actually selling products and services. So with sales conversations, you have to have sales documents to support that. You don't have to print 1,000 flashy flyers, right? Those days are gone. So what you're doing is leading with your mouth, with sales conversations, and supporting it with sales documents. For instance, a sales checklist or vouchers, or free workshop vouchers, you know, to lead into a paid workshop, or you're selling products on the day. So sales documents instead of marketing documents should back up your expo. This is where people go wrong. They also go wrong because they don't talk to anybody. That's also where people go wrong. So, so the point about an expo is not trying to tell people about 66 services that you have. It's about looking at the number one thing that you sell the best, that you're passionate about, and that you can easily sell very quickly in an expo. So you're trying to shorten the sales time down from your normal sales cycle, right? So it's, remember, face-to-face, in, connect, talk to people, qualify them, make the sale there and then, or make the appointment there and then, and moving on. So it's qualify really, really quickly with, you know, 800 people. So it's you know, it's a skill. So if you want this, we have a script in how to meet and connect with people. So you can add your, you know, email to the chat, or however Nick does it. It's, you know, I can email it out to you. But even for a networking event, you have to have a script, because I have seen for 26 years people do networking really badly. And, you know, you're there for a reason, to make sales. And I don't like social networking because it kind of wastes a whole lot of time. But, you know, if you don't use the script, you can go off track really quickly. So it's important to have a script. And it's important, like I said, to meet absolutely everyone at an expo. It's super important. And there's lots of ways to stop traffic at your stand without spending a lot of money. You can just have little activities, you know, flog your next door neighbor's mini golf set, really have something that stands out on your stand. And but ultimately, the thing that stops traffic at your stand is you, at the front of your stand, not behind it, at the front of your stand. So that's really what it comes down to, and people forget that. So our expos are digital currency expos. Some of you are on coin. So we do, just to let you know, at an expo, we're doing 1.5 more in coin sales than cash sales at the moment. So the Gold Coast Expo in June did $2.5 million in sales. $1.5 million of that was coin. So that's really changed our dynamics in our expos for small business across Southeast Queensland. So if you're not on coin, you know, you'll have to find out about it or ask me. So, you know, this digital currency stuff isn't going away, and we are pleased. Our expos are the first digital currency expos in Australia, if not the world. So these are literally, if you do go and you are on coin, they're like Boxing Day sales at Maya. They're freaking dynamic and a bit full on. So, okay. So there's a thing called a time waster at an expo. You've got to keep your eye out for them. They can suck up your time like a big fat vacuum cleaner. And if you've really got to think in your head, I've spoken to that person for 5 minutes, either qualify them or not, move them along, right? Because, you know, you've got another 20 people walking past. So if you have a time waster who wants to tell you all about his business and you can't qualify him, this is what you do. Hi, Bob. That's lovely. Thank you for telling me about that. I hope you have a wonderful expo, and walk off. Okay, you just walk off. You've got my permission. So it's really important to get rid of time wasters if they're not of interest to you and your business. So the most important people are at an and my expos are exhibitors. So there's 220 at Moreton, there's 260 at Brisbane. We always sell out. They are the reason why I put the expos on. So you're it. You're the show, and you've got to, you know, turn up and shine. A really good question to ask everybody is, who do you know? And no one ever asks that at a networking event or well, they do at my expo. So you're talking to people, but you're also talking through people. So everyone's on social media, everyone's on LinkedIn, and they've all got their own communities that they have. So you've got to get into their communities. So one person represents about 200 people. So if you've got 800 people at an expo, that's representing about 16,000 people. Ask that question. Who do you know? Because you never know who someone knows, right? So we have to interconnect at the expo. So from that perspective, the best way to engage at an expo is to smile nonstop for 6 hours, to meet and connect everyone, to be really clear in your conversation. As I said, you've got to really know what you're selling on the day. You can't just waffle and just waste people's time. Then they're wanting to find out about you, but not if you're being silly about it. So I will not listen to someone if I have no idea what they're talking about. I'll just walk off. Okay, time is money, people. So some little tips: stand at the front of your stand, never ever stand behind your stand, always wear flat shoes. You'll thank me for that. If you're talking for 6 hours straight, you've got to drink water, because otherwise you get really dehydrated, sorry, and you can actually get sick the next day. So not of COVID, but you really can do some damage with, and even now I'm dehydrated after talking for this long. So imagine after 6 hours. So be bold, creative. You can do whatever you want as long as you don't come naked. Stop traffic at your stand. Just because you're small business owners doesn't think you have to think small. You can think big. Am I almost up, Nick? Okay. And when you set up your stand, because I've seen so many expos and done so many, human beings do really weird shit. I can tell you what, I think I've seen everything. So, just set up your stand. Get off your mobile phones. People think they're attached to those somehow permanently. You absolutely aren't. You have to be present at an expo for 6 hours. You have to want to play full out and really showcase your business. So from that perspective, what stops traffic? This silly little thing here with jelly beans in the jar, and people have to guess the numbers. Geez, that stuff works. You don't have to overthink an expo. And I think that's what a lot of people do, and they get a bit afraid of it. But simple things work because human beings are simple, right? If we don't have a huge operating manual, goes in one ear, out the other, you have to stop the information in the middle. So, be vibrant. Your vibe attracts your tribe at an expo. As I said, if you're a shitty, grumpy, or don't want to talk to people, guess what? You'll make 0 sales. So it's about really shining at an expo. Checklists we've talked about. Free trials are really great. And, even selling on the day a product, if any of you have a product, you really need to be switched on about how to sell products at expos as well, which is different to selling services. So one trick about selling products at expos, here's a great tip. I owned a market for a while, so I do know about this. You hand the person the product, right? You don't just wait for them to pick it up and take it off the stand. They never will. Hand the flyer, hand the product, because if they feel quite awkward actually giving it back, and basically it's on the way to a 50% sale if you actually hand the item over to the person. So these little mental tricks work really, really well in sales on an expo day. So these are all stands at our expos, but here's one just really simple, right? This is how simple it is. You're sitting on a bar stool at the front of your stand. You've got a great smile. You've got a checklist to gather people's lead generations and attach their business card. You've got one pull-up banner. You can bloody well get those from Officeworks for $89. It's not that much of a spend. And you may or may not have some glossy flyers. That's it. That, my friends, is an expo in today's world, right? Fast, furious, streamlined, all sales-driven conversations. That's how you do it. So, and then we go through COVID. and you don't really want to know all about that. The last thing is follow-up. Again, the number one secret to an expo is the follow-up. If you've had good, meaningful conversations on the day, your follow-up should remember you, and the follow-up should be easy if you have to follow up in the next 2 days, right? So I like to do everything at an expo, and even I get my ass out of bed the next day after one of my massive expos, and I do my follow-up. So I never, ever don't do it. And if you want a script for a follow-up, we've got that as well, because when you follow up, again, time is money. You don't want to be on the phone for 8 hours, and I can do 60 follow-up calls in an hour. So, you know, if you've got 200 leads to go through, you need to set that time, but you really need to be clear again in your follow-up conversation. So we've covered the big why, really getting your thinking right, setting your targets and goals for expos, meeting and connecting with confidence. It's all about sales conversations. Your stand does not have to be complex. It can be simple to get results, and to follow up confidently is the key. And that, my friends, is all about expos. And I hope that helps.
Awesome. Listen to that. That was great. And look, I am a big supporter of expos. I think they're a great marketing tool, even though I'm an online dude. I love the expos because I actually get to meet people, real people, and you know, that sort of stuff. So Jane, you had a question.
Who, me?
Yeah. Oh, did you put your hand up, but maybe you're just scratching your ear.
I was just doing my hair, but I do have
okay.
a question. My yeah, if I can chat, that'd be great.
Yes.
Paula, that was very exciting. I really enjoyed that. I am an art room, and I am 100% online. I have toyed with the idea of doing craft expos before. They are usually set over 4 days, and they are expensive, and my product sells for around $50 each. So for me to do a craft expo is actually just, it's not worth it, because it's about $2,000 to do a stand for 4 days. But I'm thinking, because the business expo is a 1-day thing and it is a 6-hour thing, perhaps my business and what I sell, because I do a lot of online art classes and also fun 2-hour events for adults, just who want to do a little drawing activity one night. So I'm actually thinking perhaps something like myself would almost be a little bit of a left of field stand, as opposed to, say, all the other ones.
It's not left of field. I mean, we've had 225 business categories at our expos, and we have those paint and sip people who promote. So, you know, this is an audience that is on average 40 years and over. Yep. So they have lives and they have hobbies, and they, you know, the one thing we have to always remember at an expo is they're not businesses, they're human beings.
Yeah, and I think that's where I've got stuck, is that I look at your thing and go, business expo, no one wants to do business with me. They come to me to enjoy themselves and do a hobby. So I've never thought to actually come along to one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, then the thing is that the paint and sip people set up an easel, and people can actually join in and put some paint on a you know, artwork as they're going past, and it really makes it interactive, and you're inspiring people. And then having an offer, a good offer to get them online, is what you're doing. So yeah, it's the same lead generation, really. It's just you're doing it face to face. So yeah, so we have a lot of online businesses who exhibit at the expo, because it's very difficult to get traction on Facebook now. And we just have to remember that we're still human beings, and those massive networks that people actually have, you know, you'd be surprised. You know, I've seen extraordinary things happen, where one guy was a little guy who'd manufactured something in Coomera, and it happened at the Gold Coast Expo. somebody rang that guy in Coomera. He came down to the Gold Coast Expo. He actually did $1 million deal just because somebody said, you've got to come down. I've met this person. They need to come and meet you. That deal was done just because they opened their mouth and started talking. So the one thing I say is you never know who you'll meet or what connection or opportunities you'll get. Hey, Jeff, you've been to all my expos, 26 of them. Yeah, that's a good question.
Thank you.
But that's really good because I'll actually have to look at that marketing too. But, you know, it is open to everybody because everyone needs business, right?
I know, I just never sort of thought a business expo would be, like, I just think craft, art and craft, and the people that are going to come to that are there because they want to do art and craft. But so does everyone else if it's put in front of them and they go, oh, wow, that's a great idea. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, so we have a lot of tourism. We have even art therapy has been at our expos. NDIS is at our expos because of the jobs component as well. Yeah. So it's a massive, massive network.
Oh, well, you might see me at the next one.
See you there. That's a good question. Any others before I go?
Well, if you're going to be there, Jane, I suppose I better turn up again too. So we're going to have a great time there.
We will.
Yeah, definitely. If you can make the Brisbane one coming up, it's on the 21st of October at Upper Mount Cravat. It's a gold coin donation to come in. Happy to give you the website address and you just, you know, book a ticket, bring your business cards. If you attend, you can only bring your business cards, not your flyers. But if you exhibit, obviously, then you go the whole hog. It's not really selling because we've only got 7 stands left out of 260. So yeah, it's not a hard sell. But if you want to have more info, you're welcome to ask me and or to get the info. That's fine.
Lovely.
Oh, there might only be 5 stands left after the end of this evening, Paula.
Well, that's right. Yeah. You can still book a stand using coin if you've got coin.
So any other questions? I've got a couple, but if anyone else has got some. Well, my one, Paula, is what has been the most fun or unusual thing that's happened at one of your expos?
Oh, look, we've had everything from beauty queens to people dressed in yak outfits to circus games to far out. If I look over 7 years of the it's now 26,000 businesses. The only one we haven't had is a snake handler, and I still, you know, to this day want a snake handler. But it's just, you know, the one big thing I find about the expos is they really have always delivered hope. And you may think that that's a silly thing, but we're very disconnected now for our small businesses. There's very few networking events now. And we really need to make sure our small businesses collaborate and work together. And this program is the only one like it in Australia. And before I ran it, all of the chambers of commerce had never worked together. And the councils had never worked with the chambers of commerce. So in 7 years, we've combined 6 regions together in the one project that everybody works on. And I think that's something that is really great to remember.
Yeah, that's sensational, really, because you've really, you know, working with the local members of Parliament and the councils as well. And I think your reputation and fame has just really sort of shot up there because you just get these people together collaborating. And your workshops at these at the expos are fantastic as well too. So and I think the difference between these expos that you run and others that I've been to is the amount of input that you put into it. Both at the event and behind the scenes as well too. So and I think that's what really makes it them such good events to be at. Like we've always got business out. Like I have to say, our business, we've got thousands of dollars worth of business out of these expos. I've also spent thousands of dollars. I think the most I spent was $12,000 at one of these expos with one of these silly little games that was on offer. So yeah, so they really do work.
You're doing a great job, Paula.
Thanks, mate. You're always there. You only missed one, actually. I remember you were in hospital.
Yeah, that was a bit hard to get to it then.
Yeah.
That day.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope that was of help. It was really lovely to meet everyone. And please come and say hello if you do come to one of the expos, because sometimes people go and they go, oh yeah, I went, and I never even, get to say hello to anybody. So make sure you come up and say hi. And I'd very much love to see you at one of our expos. Thanks, Nick.
Okay.
Awesome.
Paula.
Thanks, Paula.
See you next week, Paula.
Paula,
Yes.
before you go, I just wanted to say my name is David, and I just wanted to say I used to sell expo booths back in Portland, Oregon, many years ago. So I know exactly what you're talking about. It's we get all sorts of types of businesses in, and it often would bring up very interesting results for companies.
Yeah, absolutely. But you have to be open to it as well. And that's the thing about your attitude. If you have a really shitty
absolutely.
attitude, yeah, you never would. And sometimes people ring me up on the Monday and go, oh, it didn't work for me. And I know how they've been on the day. I can see them. I walked down the aisles nonstop for 6 hours. So, I can't stress it enough. You make your sales and your attitude will absolutely shine, and you'll make the money if you're doing what we say to do. So.
And the other thing, your statement about doing something that's a little bit different is spot on. My last presentation, rather than doing just the normal, my businesses, counseling, we help, I actually came up with a whole bunch of questions and challenged everyone there to come up with answers for things that were very seemingly off the wall, that I got people on the day saying, why are we being presented with this information? We're business owners, we're not regular people. And I got 3 clients out of it just because I was doing things off the wall that caused people to remember.
Yeah, people to stop and think. And that's why you have to stop traffic for 5 minutes to get them thinking and asking them questions. We're so on the same page, David.
Absolutely. You've definitely got my interest.
All right. Well, lovely, everyone.
Just one other question, Paula.
Yeah.
Like often, people think that the expo is the event, expo and definitely doing the follow-up side of things. But what about before the expo? What can people do before the expo, which can maximize their experience at the expo and after?
Well, definitely pre-promotion is super important, and promoting your competitions and telling everybody you're going to be there, particularly if you're a home-based business. You should be telling everyone you're at an expo so that they come and see you in your shop, your pop-up shop for the day. So, that's what I just can't believe in Australia how bad we are at follow-up. So if you're inviting all your customers down to see you and for a chance to win a prize or whatever to see you, that's A, helping them with their business anyway, and B, you're squeezing your old customers for new business, and it saves you a shitload of travel time to go and see them, saves you phoning them to follow them up, which you're not doing anyway, because I know that. So, it's all that pre-promotion. It's literally getting them into your shop. And, I think that's the biggest thing you can do.
Absolutely. Yeah. And good point there. Like if we're working from home, that is our shop by going to an expo. That's my social time, getting out to these sort of things. So, yeah. Excellent. Well, look, thanks, Paula, for coming along tonight and sharing. I better book my stand for Mount Gravatt tomorrow, shouldn't I?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I've just already registered my interest, Nick.
Oh, have you? Don't take my stand. It's only 7 there.
5.
Yeah.
7. Yeah.
Excellent.
All right, lovely.
For those that do want to find out a bit more about it, how do they do that, Paula?
It's just the website. I tried to type it, but it doesn't seem to work. So
Okay.
I don't know what's happened, Nick.
Oh, it's just those tech issues. Tell us what the website is.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I've just
Jane.
put it there.
Yeah.
Oh, Mrs. Red's art room, of course. You used to be down at Burleigh. We used to go there all the time. Of course, I should have recognised you, Jane. Yeah, so yeah, just jump on, grab an info pack. It's just, you can do it from your phone and the pop-up inquiry comes up and then you just get 13 pages of riveting information and, you know, you're welcome to give me a call, but I really appreciate just sharing it. So thank you.
For those that are not in Southeast Queensland as well, you're really going to miss out on the experience that Paula gives, but there are expos all over Australia, New Zealand, through Asia. They're everywhere. If you just take some of the strategies that Paula's talked about tonight, they do work, you know, regardless of where you are at the expos. So yeah, so thanks again, Paula. So let's give Paula a big round of applause. Thank you. And it has been a tough gig, I know, sort of over the past couple of years. So yeah, well done for sticking at it and making sure that we've still got this platform to be able to do business at. So that's awesome. All right, well, we're coming towards the end of our evening tonight, and your prize from Paula is just to go along and book your expo. If you're on coin, then make sure you book it, you know, use your coin there sort of at the expo as well too. You know, people often say it's hard to spend it, easy to make it, hard to spend it. Here's a great place to do it. We used to send our kids out to do all their Christmas shopping at these sort of expos and just load them up with a bit of a coin. All right, so we do have a prize draw tonight as well too, and that is courtesy of Aldrin, who is here tonight. Tell us what the prize is tonight, Aldrin.
Thank you, Nick. I have 2 tickets to give away to my free Publicity Secrets Masterclass. It's a 4-hour online event, and the next event is October 8 from 9 to 1 p.m. It's $97 per ticket. So very happy to give that away, 2 of those away tonight.
Awesome. And the reason why that's relevant, it goes back to the question I asked Paul about what to do before the expo. If you make sure that you get some good publicity before, during and after the expo, then you really sort of exponentially increase the opportunities you have at that event as well too. So we've got a way to draw this. We've got our screen with our wheel of names on it. So all of your names are in there. So for those, oh, your things are online too, aren't they, Aldrin? Is it online? No.
Yes, it is. Sorry, I was just unmuting myself. Yes,
Awesome.
it is. It's online, so people can hop on from anywhere. And it was content packed, so I give away all my secrets of being in the media and show the exact process of how to get free publicity and get the cut through with your marketing, which a lot of people aren't getting with paid ads nowadays.
Yeah, it definitely is action packed. I've been, it's awesome, and it's a great adjunct to what Paul has got here as well too. All right, let's spin the wheel and draw this. And drum roll, please. Hey? And our winner is Colin Mackey.
Yay! Legend, Colin.
Mate, that's pretty good for you, considering you're running your programs and things at the moment too. So got to get word out about that little voice.
Can you rerun that? Because I've already been to one of those and it was very, very, very good. And
you have?
Yeah, so it would be better for someone else to share with it because it's first class.
Awesome. All right, well, let's do it. Sorry, Aldrin.
Thank you, Colin. Well, I'll offer you we can have a chat sometime, and a media strategy session instead with you, Colin, because you've already attended.
All right, well,
okay. Thank you.
Sounds good. Actually, I've done one of those with Aldrin too, so it's amazing what you discover in those sessions that you think, oh, no one's interested in that, but yes, that is just the angle.
Yes.
All right, let's draw it again. And the winner this time is, boom, Con. Is Con here? Oh, there he is. Excellent, big wave in the background. So Connor is a lucky winner of that there. Fantastic. You better put that on LinkedIn.
You bet I will.
Excellent. So if you make contact with Aldrin in chat, just maybe sort of share your email address and phone number, whatever, however you want to do that. And we've got one more ticket too, haven't we, Aldrin?
Yes, that's right.
All
Yep.
right, so let's draw the next one.
And I'll just pop my
Fingers
links
crossed
in the chat.
there. And All right. The winner is, drumroll, Soren.
Excellent. Thank you.
Sensational. Yeah, that's fantastic for you as well too, knowing a wee bit about your business. So getting the word out about this, you've got a great angle or a couple of angles there. So awesome.
Look forward to that.
Excellent. So if you just share your details there with Aldrin in chat as well too. And what we'll do tomorrow is with our email that goes out, we always sort of shoot out a post email, is we'll include the links to the expo. So if you're interested in it, want to book it, want to find out some more information, we'll have that in there as well. And I'm sure Paula is available at any time to have a chat if you've got any questions about it as well too. So once again, thanks very much, Paula, for sharing your evening with us. Thanks everyone for coming along tonight. Another sensational night tonight, and look forward to seeing you back here same time next week or sometime during the week. Have a great night.